another shop update video. Can't believe it's been a week already. We got quite a bit done on the VQ swapped Z. Most of it taking place under here. We were able to get the caster arms to fit. The caster measurements seem okay. So we were able to bend up that tab a little bit, which allowed us to bring it down, and it still has plenty of range of motion. We did that on both sides. We started tackling the sway bar issue. So we 3D printed some spacers here because the sway bar will go into the oil pan if it stays at the factory height up there. So test fitted these. They fit. Maybe a little bit of modification I gotta make to them, but I'm waiting for longer hardware to come in so we can verify that. The turbo manifold on this side is pretty much done. This is the only piece that's just tacked on just because we might have to change that angle, but that manifold is on there and done. That was one hell of a project. We've rotated the steering rack up a little bit, trying to see if we can squeeze enough out to get this to bolt on, but that's just not gonna happen. So this is seized in here. We have that like wide open, it won't come out. So we're gonna cut this, sleeve it to extend that onto there, and that'll solve that problem. Another view of where the manifold is. We thought we had the right starter to convert this 350Z drivetrain to have the starter on this side. I got the wrong one. I have the right one coming. As soon as we get that, we can then make the tube that connects here to there, which will be fun. We're doing it underneath to try to keep some of the heat out of the engine bay, and also for ease of repair, because if you do it up across like these 300s have from the factory, the single turbo ones, it kind of gets in the way and blocks stuff. And if you have leaks or anything like that, it's just a pain in the butt. With this VQ, a lot of the thermostat stuff is on the back of the engine, so we just didn't want it to be anywhere near there. So it's a longer route for it to take, but it's a small turbo. We're not making a ton of power. It's not going to affect anything all that much. On this white Juke, we haven't gotten a whole lot done because we actually had a project here, just a one-day project on Saturday, kind of like a two-day project. It was kind of here before that, but I'll show you that right now. So this is gonna go in the shop update video, but we worked on this Saturday. Customer had an air ride system installed on it, and it would not work or calibrate or anything. So we fixed some wiring that wasn't done right and some sensors that were installed wrong, and now you can do this with your phone, but you know, I'm using that right now. Go max low. Just tucking. And then we have ride height. Driving around, which is where we want it. And then we have max height. This is like a front lift all the way around. We are going to talk to the customer about putting a bigger air tank in, because this tank is not big enough. But we'll drop it down and do a little walk around so you guys can see it. So it does actually go lower, but it will sit on the rear tires. Not my cup of tea as far as some of the aesthetic stuff. Looks pretty good sitting that low. Interesting. We put a boiler exhaust on this for this gentleman a couple months ago. He had one put on by another shop, and it had all kinds of leaks, and come to find out they broke the stud on the cat and blew the gasket out. So we fixed that for him and put a new exhaust on it. Put a little sound clip in here. But this white car, I got the harness for up to the fuel tech made for the interior of the car. And then these are the pins that are going to go to our connector, our big connector in the engine bay, to make sure that the engine harness can be separated kind of like factory in case the engine needs to be removed or work has to be done on it. So that's all pinned out. And then this is all the wiring we're gonna need, or some of the wiring we're gonna need in order to hook the engine up. So this is slated to get done Friday. I'm gonna try to crank out all of the wiring on it on Friday. We were supposed to tune the shop cube today on ethanol. That didn't happen for a variety of reasons. But that's where we're at with that. Back here, we have the drag car engine. We have a lot done on this, like a lot. We have a whole video going up tomorrow morning showing the process of prepping this and getting it ready for assembly. There's 2 more things that I need to do to actually start putting stuff completely together. But more information on that is in the other video. Doesn't seem like a whole lot got done over the past week, but something like the turbo manifold on this Z, you know, that took 3 days of cutting, fitting, and making it work. It is a very tight fit in there. So it's a slow process. So if your car is getting work done by somebody and getting some custom work done, just remember, stuff takes time. It just takes time. On top of that, you know, being a 1.5 person operation, I get spread out pretty quickly. So I will get back to you guys next week with more updates.